All right, we are ready to start our fun tonight as our brave crew are adventuring south in order to find out further secrets and to make this land here in Assyria their own, unraveling ancient mysteries and powers, long sleeping, and much of it long ignored, isolated as it is from um, Vasselheim, the seat of power in Assyria, and from much of the rest of Exandria. Um, thus, heading down uh, the beaten road, uh, you've encountered dreams and callings that seem to beckon them eastward, but keeping their minds about themselves, they've continued with a person in tow, hoping to deliver them somewhat safely into a place where they can begin to fend for themselves and find a peace and solace as they were rescued from, well, one could say, the general vicinity of Grandpa Gregarious, whose presence in the north seemed to cause consternation. And upon doing the first part of a deal, now our heroes have a upon them as they received a gift and used it to solve their problem. For Grandpa Curious to call upon them anytime. So they go south. So it is as you move to your south that you begin to see the rather small and humble village here um, of Guntar. The whole village seems to be made and constructed out of cedar, uh, much of it woven and dense that you can see. There is there's some buildings that are giving out a thick black smoke. Um, and as the wind blows from the south, and you can almost smell this pungent, almost chemical smell here, as well as some of it mixed with roasted meat and other things. It's from Valorant. This seems to be just a bit of almost nothing as you see it sitting there, occupying a place where a small path that seems to go through high grassland and thick wood and some thick wood travels east and north. A place where it doesn't look like anything of note would necessarily be occurring. And as you approach, uh, you are seen from quite far away. There is a guard tower that occupies the north, though no wall surrounds Guntar. There's the tower all the same that you can already hear whistles and calls alerting the town that visitors are approaching. Um, and you can see the rush of everyone to get into their homes and buildings as you approach. And even the guard here uh, stays in their tower, and you can see A few others who look like they've had a little bit more combat experience put themselves under cover so they cannot be easily seen or targeted should you be aggressive. The town is somewhat quiet and expecting as you get closer.
Looks like they're all on guard.
So, just present yourself as not assuming, and Nala will hold out her hands away from her, the hilt of her great sword, and kind of smile a bit, and just make an announcement and say, "We're friendly visitors, just passing through. Nothing to worry about from us."
Guard and the tower looks down and you can see they're human and um from this distance you can tell that their irises um are shaped almost in the shape of like a cross or plus sign. They look down upon you. Right. Good. What's what then is can Guntar do for you as you pass by?
Do we know roughly about how close we are to the ruins that we've been seeking at this point? Are we still a couple of weeks out? Or
Yeah, we're a couple of weeks for sure.
Okay. Mostly just looking for a place to stay for the night on our way, and we don't plan to disturb you for too long if it's all right. But if you ask us to move along, we will.
And may I ask where you are headed after?
I nod toward Azariah.
Well, we were headed down south towards the southern kingdoms. The next stop would be the fort after this. Did you notice that rainstorm that had been going on for months just up north?
Well, it never ends.
It does now.
We did have a part in that. Restoring balance to the lands is something we do on our downtime.
What kind of a big deal?
Yeah, give me a persuasion check.
All right, me and Garrus both tag teaming that, or just me? Okay,
You can do that. That's fine.
okay. Oh, thank everyone. 21.
Do you want me to roll too?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A 9.
All right. See, here's having you have to say. If you're looking for a place to spend a night, the Weave Hall likely have dry places for you to rest.
We appreciate your time, Gate Man. What is your name?
My name is Senran.
Sanman, we appreciate you doing your duties well. I know that it can't always be fun, and some people think that you're being hard, but you're just doing your job.
Hmm. I'll tell you, it's been had trouble of late. Everyone is waiting for things to get worse. People will be a bit off put, but um, if you are, if you are, if you do well, they'll do well by you.
Is he like in a tower or is he in the ground?
He's still in his tower.
Okay. Well, if there's a way that I could get these to you and I pull out 2 gold coins, I'd love to learn more about what's been going on here if you have some time.
He kind of looks down and thinks, does a little whistle, and you can see out from what you can see now is what looks like is essentially a one side of a wall that is kind of made to look like it should be a building, especially coming from the north. But this coast you can see was just built just to be a place where people could hide behind to get a better shot at intruders.
Right.
And they kind of climb on up as he puts his foot in this rope and lets himself get lowered down by it very quickly. See, nods. Goes, I'd be glad to inform you and help you out. Like I said, it's been hard, and you all look the part, you say, to be honest, of those who know their way around blades. The ones who keep the land and protect it were known as the Lion Holders. But if you have need of any of us, just being forthright usually gets what you get you our ear.
Well, we just spent time in Valrin, and those people seem to value honesty and directness as well. We ended up getting a few titles there, but alas, glory in one town is not enough. We want to make an impact anywhere we can.
And yes, Valron's a great place. It's just many children head north to Valron to perish on the way or in their ceremonies of valor and honor. The young,
Not us.
especially.
Well, do you mind us coming inside so we can talk a little more?
Of course. And again, it's not so much a wall, so you're kind of...
Yeah, you have to like climb up. Right.
Yeah, so you kind of just, come on. How can I help you?
Well, I have a few questions. I guess starting off with the trouble that your town has been having lately.
Yeah, how can we help you?
Laughs. Well, you'll find out about it sooner or later. Especially to find to find shelter in the Weave Hall. As people who go west to the bogs to hunt and gather have been hearing music as it gets darker. And about a week ago, a group of children, the type of that I told you about, like to seek their glory, who dream of being Valoranic heroes, thought that they would solve a problem that we were having, specifically for Keza, our apothecary. She had run low on supplies, so they had gone west to the bog. And though she had planned to stay at night, they had not yet reached 15, so hadn't been taught everything, especially not to sleep there. So they did. One didn't return. The others have been unable to tell us what has become of them.
Hmm.
The children, is that right?
The children went, and one is missing from that group. Yeah.
And where do these children often congregate?
They all in the Weave Hall.
The Weave Hall.
He opens and the door, and you can see as he's about to, people almost want to react as if they want to hide something, and he gives them a quick shake of his head. And this hall is grand. The cedar here is woven deeply one to the other, and looks like dark sap has begun to run out of the wood a bit, kind of warping the grain into odd patterns. And as you look inside, you can see there's this rough bit of 13, 14-year-olds who they look, and one kind of like gives a bird squawk, and then a bunch chitter as if making bird song. And another opens, and no sound comes out, just the deep scent of damp moss.
They stay here all the time.
It's the only place where enough people can keep a watch on them all day.
These are the ones that came back from the bog.
Yes.
What do you think is going on?
I don't know.
Well,
Do you know if Elkin is dealing with similar issues? It's like the big city over southwest.
Yeah. We haven't been able to contact them. This all happened in the last week. That's to get a message there and back would take 6-7 weeks.
Fair enough. There's not many teleportation circles here.
Kind of laughs.
well, I do have an idea. It's a terrible idea.
Well, I believe you a little bit now, more than when you have some of your other ideas.
I feel like something's reached out to them. And I'm in a unique position. If you know what I mean.
But that was a little bit of my point there. I like you have better ideas when you're like this. You said so yourself. You don't even know why they, and I point to Garrus and Layla, listen to you anytime that you're not what you should be.
So what's your idea?
Okay. Well, obviously, I can make myself younger, it may not get them to talk. They might only be able to talk like birds, but if something's reaching out to the young people here, it would likely reach out to me too.
I think that's a really dumb idea. You're right.
Exactly. But it's something that could at least get us a lead. We might be able to even go out and find this thing much easier.
Well, I'm basically a child already.
Perfect.
We just give you a lollipop in the
Exactly.
store and you're right there.
Just send me out into the bog, and I'll fool whatever this thing is into thinking that I'm a little kid. And then when it comes out and tries to enchant me, I'll stab it, and problem solved.
We'll both do it.
I don't think you need to become a child again. Can you control that?
I can revert. I just don't have control over coming back. It requires the discipline. However, I can force myself back into the other state because it's technically my actual state.
You're actually a bit like a child.
No, the raging state, right? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is I was cursed,
Right.
and that became my natural state through the curse.
Gotcha.
And I had to work my way to find a means of becoming more like my old self. But if I drop my concentration on that long enough, I can revert easily. It's just not something I typically like to do. But if children's lives are in danger, you'll find that I do it pretty willingly.
We've helped plenty of children before, so I don't know why we'd stop now. I just think that maybe we should gather more info before we set out.
Is there a wise woman or a wise man in town?
We could talk to the apothecary, the one that
Yeah.
Syra mentioned, right? Siren? No, it was Syra. But yeah.
Yeah, there's other people you could talk to. You were just trying to do this, so if you're ready to hear more on that.
Well, if Nala wants to try to go interact with the children, I was going to pour coffee to the guy, talk to him, and I'm curious how he got his eye like that. So
Is he the only one with weird eyes? Or do the other people have weird irises as well?
that's a great question.
He is the only one.
Okay.
When you said the buildings were made out of seed,
Like cedar, woven cedar.
Wood.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Like, okay, I got
Yeah.
you. CEDAR.
Right.
Okay. My brain was
The place
totally
smells amazing.
It does.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of what Nala's plan's going to be here, but
Well, if you want to try to talk to them, okay. I don't think we need to have you be bait necessarily. I think that we can figure out whatever this is and maybe turn the tables on it. I think something is enchanting these people. Is what my gut is telling me, or something's cursing them, or something. Maybe Grandpa Gregarious came to town.
Do you say that purposely loud?
Yeah. And I look very carefully to see if anybody reacts.
Uh-huh.
There isn't a reaction.
Okay. If there's no reaction, obviously he hasn't come to town.
Well, I think that's a good idea, Garrus. And plus, fate might even have other ideas, and we won't have to do anything but have Nava with her and us in our natural state. But I think I'm going to go talk to our gate man friend and figure out why he has those cool eyes. And I want to Hear about what you find out, Nala. I'll talk to you soon.
I want to see Nala turn little again. I still think this is crazy.
She has to pull a Superman, so she walks into a drawer. I don't know. Walks outside since everybody was out of the
Phone
street, I
booth.
guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, so she has to like allow that to happen, and then
But part of what she actually is also trying to do is to see if anything mentally tries to reach out to her or psychically tries
Yeah.
to reach out to her. And she's very curious about that.
yeah. Now keep in mind that what was told to you is that they went out into the bog, the swamp.
And they
Right.
came back
Right.
different.
Oh, yeah.
They hang up
Yeah.
at night.
And as far as they know, they were saying that was like their intention to go out. They weren't necessarily drawn or cajoled to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure it was
Yeah. She's just covering all bases.
covering bit. Cool. As long as okay, excellent.
Trying to find the tie.
Yeah, and okay, so she's that. And then are you just kind of hanging out with the kids? Is the idea here, or are you still going
think,
with them? What's the?
I think she'll probably hang out with them for a little bit, but if all they're doing is making bird sounds, then she'll eventually go try to find the group again. But
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, totally. I'm down with that. I think, yeah, I think what you'll find with them is they, looking into their eyes, you can see that they are interested and are like, oh, cool, like someone else to talk to and know. But then they begin like jumping and making these noises. And even as you try to play games, they have what essentially is dragon chess and a few other card games that it's like they for a moment will want to play before they will just throw the cards.
Okay.
And even they try to draw or write and it comes out much of the time almost like they're drawing and writing, like they end up making the patterns of wood grain.
Huh.
So it's as though all their attempts to communicate or empathize or get anything is corrupted or blocked or something's wrong.
Okay. Then I definitely want to do an insight check to see if there are specific types of things that, I mean, obviously they're, what I'm really trying to get at is while she's talking to them, are there certain topics that seem to bring out this more than others through a little insight?
Gotcha. Give me an insight check.
Ooh, 6.
It is. It's you don't see the pattern.
Figured.
It's from the time there. It's mostly whenever some type of communication or interaction would have to occur.
Okay.
That when that's not happening, when they don't like desire to be around each other, desire to be there, they almost look like they're at peace and like they might have their minds. But as soon as there's some type of action towards either each other or someone else, all this starts to kick in.
Sounds good. So yeah, just let me know whenever I eventually find the rest of the group. And go from there.
Sounds good. All right, and then I know you're eating, but I just want to make sure we don't just run you over, Alora. Is there anything? Just want to check in.
No, there's not much she'd be doing. She'd probably just be quiet, a bit confused on this sort of a scenario. More so how people were more essentially afraid of them. As far as it's quite different from the Far Cry of the last town they went when everybody was essentially had the freedom to do as they wished.
Very good. All right. So I think it's Garrus Azariah. Where were you? You wanted to talk to the guard here, right?
Yeah, yeah. Talk to the guard, learn more about him, and I was gonna ask questions like, has anyone have any getting these things like that? But yeah, we'll go up to him and I'll brew some coffee.
Okay. So smiles. He smells it. Oh, we haven't had this in 3 months.
That the woman you saw with the white hair be the gentleman that was feet taller than her in an arm wrestling match. Well, she won us a bag in Valrin, and that's how she got the title, The Surprise.
Sounds like something good comes from Valorant after all.
Well, we try to leave any place that we visit better than when we found it. I think it's just the nature, and well, I would hope to think most people.
And he kind of looks at you for a moment and goes, "No, wait. Are you the wandering Thanes?"
The Wandering Things. I've never heard of that name before.
It's some folks a month or so ago talked about a clan that came down from the mountains, and that their leadership has left their clan to wander and do good, to conquer the land, they say.
Well, those sound like some pretty interesting people. If you ever meet them, I'd love to get to know them.
Right. Sorry, it's just a legend. Just the way you're coming in.
No, that's no problem. I don't mean to be rude, but I was curious with your eye. How did it get that way?
You're asking, curious how they what that way?
How they got their eye.
Oh, the eyes, yeah. Oh, this kind of looks out. It's well, it was a I was on a hunt in the swamp, and I was trying to get all the food with the fellow warriors, and it had gotten dark, I remember. I had survived through the night, and I had heard a call of a hawk, I thought. And what I came to find was this bird. When it spread its wings, it must have taken up 40 feet. And, well, I was so starved, and I was convinced if I moved, it was going to find me anyway. So I went to attack it. It flew, and I just had taken my hook, and he holds it like this grappling hook, and I had grasped its claw. I climbed up, and we must have gone back and forth the whole day. And then all of a sudden, I swear the claw almost moved in a way it shouldn't have. Put me down. And then it spoke. It just said, "I like you." My eyes began to burn. And then for the next 2 days, I was able to see everything that hid in the brush. I came back with quite the haul. Had to find my way back here all on my own. They thought I had died, but we ate well.
Or you saying that whatever is out there in the bog not only takes, but it gives.
I think there are many things there. Many things. And the alto, nice. I think I might have gotten lucky.
And what happens to those that aren't so lucky? What is the things and tales that they tell children to be wary of when they are there at night?
At night, the other hunters come out, the ones that would find creatures like us appealing. Said no one lives in the swamp, really. Not for long, anyway. There are a few settlements on the coast, but in Vecchi, it's more. He kind of breathes again. He's like, kind of trying to like find his words, and then, as if he almost remembers something, goes. Here, the wind doesn't scream. The land doesn't hunger. It listens. And if you're not careful, it is said it answers.
Well, there's plenty of things I think been calling out. I wanted to bring it by you if you've ever heard of people having dreams of wanting to go east into the mountains.
The mountains. I think so. The folks of Finnell. They go that way. Every once in a while, you find those who come through here. They say that the mountains, the Uta is singing to them. I've heard of many dying upon the rocks and the peaks, and those that don't gather in Fino. But don't know much about them. They stay and they move on, often buy some supplies, such that we have. Though we trade mostly here, don't have much call for gold.
That's fair enough. Well, we are going to have to leave here at some point, whether we are able to help you or not. And I wanted to know if you thought it would be better for us to head to Elkin first before we go to the ruins of Vault. Our first true destination.
Kind of thinks. I've heard of some of that south. Elkin kind of thinks for a little bit of a moment. They are interesting place. Depends what whether you need something. I would say if you don't need to go to Elkin, I wouldn't go.
Well, it might be an inevitability for us. We are probably going to hit the shore and get to Blackhaven when we come back up north. But it really depends on the time we have. That's just as you say, the Wandering Thames. We are from a settlement, and well, we will just fate so have us go down south. Plus, I need a new staff.
Oh, well, you can make your way without hitting Elkin, though. But it's up to you. They just kind of there's traders who cross the sea from the west. Much of it comes in and through Blackhaven, and Elkin's the first stable place that it all hits, and they've just taken to the culture a lot. It's a bit strange. They've renounced the spirits.
It seems like it's not the only place. Sionis is quite split between the topic.
Yeah, Sionis does have its problems, but though, and there are folks there from the rest. You said you are thinking of the ruins of Encolet.
Yes, we must go there first before we hit the forest.
If you go to Elkin, you might want to think about keeping that to yourself. The folks from the west who sailed, they have their own thoughts about fate and all that. I know there's been rumor of their interest there. And yeah. Not too happy with those who talk differently.
Well, we'll sure to mind our tongue when we get there. Garrus, is there anything come to your mind?
No, this is all very informative. This is all very helpful. You seem very cautious when we first approached town. Have you had harassment from bandits or something like that? Have people been harassing the town?
Oh, there's always raiders, starving half tribes, we call them. And of course, the monsters of this land. But as far as this is more to do with children, and well, there was because you had brought it up. There's a young man who we were thinking of sending away to the east, to the mountains, like you were saying. He had gone missing, returned, but a little different. He had came back placid, calm, and pale. His body covered in these markings of vines. And when I asked him about them, he said, "We've come back better." With everything else going on, we elected to put him out more at the edge of town, and we keep an eye on him, make sure he's okay. But we don't have him come in and mix with everyone else.
What other than he's got binds on him. He's got these markings on him. What's wrong with him? Why shun him like this?
He keeps talking like he's not alone in his head.
I think we need to talk to this guy. What's his name?
His name, Elfin.
Elfin. Okay. Can you take our group to go speak to this Elfin?
Certainly.
We should get Nala. I think we need to tell Nala about this stuff.
It won't be too hard to find her. She's quite tall and has striking white hair.
I think she was going to turn into a little kid.
No. Oh, that's nothing.
She's going to be short now.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's found you all by now.
Well, I didn't find out much, guys, but I mean, they seem to have a strange way of communication that sort of blocks out their thoughts, like doesn't want them to reveal things. But it's hard to really tell how that all works. I tried to really get into their minds, but it just didn't work.
Well, no, I'm not going to say that out loud.
I was going to say, if only we had a wizard that could actually go into somebody's mind.
But not that way. We're not going to do that unless someone has unfortunately perished. We're not going to make that a thing, Garrus.
No.
But
Okay.
I did have some good news.
What good news do you bring, Nala?
I won hide and seek.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Great. We're proud of you.
We've got some good news for you too, Nala. There's a guy that has leaf markings on him. Thought you might be interested. Yeah, and apparently he came back and he's got these markings on him, and he talks like there's other voices in his head, and he said that he came back better than he was.
Well, I'm part tree too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I immediately thought of Nala. Thought, ooh, another tree dude.
And I think Elora can talk to.
I like knee down next to Garrus, and I'm like, do you know that she only really believes she's a tree when she's this little?
I know.
You need to really stop egging her on.
Oh, that's half the fun. But I really think we should go talk to this Elfin. I think there's something. I think it sounds like it might be touched by something powerful.
Well, I guess we start with the single man and then work our way to the bog and the children.
Yeah,
Laura
the
with
children. Yeah, Laura's with us.
Laura,
Yes.
curious. I've noticed that all of the buildings here are made out of cedar.
Mm-hmm.
Is that normal? Because I've never seen this many houses that use the same type of, plants. And did you I figured you're more in tune with like plants and stuff. Did you notice like a lot of cedar trees in this area?
Nature check.
Yeah. That's good.
Alrighty. First dice roll of the day. Let's go. Where's history? I mean nature. Oh, okay. And 18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think looking around, yeah, from the topography in the place, this cedar seems like it's a very prevalent tree here. Around. around?
Well, not from the ordinary. It looks like they have had a couple of trees around here. It wouldn't make. I'd say it wouldn't. It'd be stranger if they didn't use that wood than anything.
Yeah, that's. I was just checking because I got to wondering if they were doing some type of lumber trade or, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about architecture, but I just know that in our village we don't usually have a lot of
Hey,
trees.
hey Nala, I think you're getting distracted by the architecture.
We do have a lot of trees in where we live. We're like in the middle of the forest in
Oh, that's right.
Riverwood.
I'm in our old house.
It's called Riverwood. There's a river and there's a lot of wood.
Yeah, we used to live on an island with a big skull on it.
What? Oh, there was an island. It was in the middle of a mountain, and there definitely weren't many trees there. Yes, we had stone homes over there.
And Gareth,
Skull
like me,
Town.
grew up in a place with a bunch of plains.
Yeah. Well, so do we talk to this gentleman and figure out?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know how to read people's minds. I just know how to eat them and then get the information after it's too late.
Well, I mean, if something's out there in the forest, I feel like Alora is kind of our expert. So I'm mostly going to defer to you, Alora.
Well, it's not a normal forest; it's a bog.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
It's all
know.
strange out here to me.
Well,
I don't like swamps.
well, the gentleman from with the vines, he went out east. He didn't go towards the bog.
Yeah, he went towards the mountains like we wanted to.
Oh, we're going to the mountains?
No. We're just going to talk to the gentleman that went there. He
Oh,
became paler, and all the things that Gareth said. He totally changed.
all right. Sounds good. Maybe he's had the same dreams as we had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case, he will gladly lead you there, though. He stops a good 1,000 feet away
Okay.
and kind of gestures towards this. Interesting enough, this particular place isn't made of cedar. It seems to be of a different type of wood, not necessarily remarkable. Giving you the impression it was built more recently, possibly just for this person. And excuse me. And you move away, you can see those that are supposed to keep an eye on them. Here, the line holders. There's two. That themselves are a little closer, more like 600 feet. Looking out, it's basic, small, but does look like it was built with care and comfort. Strong roof. He goes, be my guest. I'll head back. You can find me if you need anything else.
You don't want to go closer?
Does this guy have cooties or something?
What a cool.
When I was talking to them once, he said, "We like you. You can be part of us." I don't really go near him after that.
Don't blame you.
It seems like a lot of people like you.
Alora,
We
is
like
that how
you too.
trees talk? Do they say we?
No. Well, I don't know. I've never had a conversation with a tree before.
Oh, that's why I'm asking Alora.
Laura, think carefully about what you're going to say.
For the sanity of my friend here, I'm gonna say no.
That's awesome.
Well, I guess we better see this cootie man.
No, that is not going to be his nickname. Nope.
I don't know what the cooties are, Garrus. Can you tell me?
It's lice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't have cooties.
No, I hope he doesn't have any kind of infestation like that or something. But it sounds like he's got brain cooties.
I don't know if I want to eat his brains now. What if he? Oh, have they been given food? Is there like bowls outside as we walk up towards the home?
Bowls.
Like plates with
There's
anything?
evidence that they've fed, like that he has supplies and those things.
Azariah, I was wondering, can you detect magic?
No, that's not what I'm really for.
Hmm.
That's why we have
Yeah,
Layla.
because I wonder if there's an enchantment on these people. We should maybe when Layla gets back, we can ask her.
I like hold on to the rune necklace I have. That's why I like using runes. It usually tells people, hey, you probably shouldn't touch this. It has magic on it.
Yep. There's a lot sneakier magic out there, though.
So what's the proper etiquette? Do we just knock or do we yell or?
Yeah, let's just knock.
Knock.
Garrus will walk up and knock on the door 3 times.
You hear it, and there's a bit of a pause before a voice rings out. Yes, you may enter.
Thanks, friend. I'm gonna need coffee for this.
Go ahead, Garrus.
I'll open the door and step inside and look around.
Come in and you see what would be a very nicely kept area. It's clean and dry, but there are anything that could be used as some type of a container for water seems to have vines growing out of it. It's like ivy, and they come and they've wrapped around the upper ceiling beams and growing up the size of the inside here. And they tend to avoid the center, where sitting in a chair facing a fireplace that itself is overgrown with vines, and where the hearth the fire would be is entirely filled. You see this young man, maybe in his early 20s, who does not turn to look at you. Says, "Welcome to our home."
This is a very interesting home. It looks very inviting and quite. I like what you've done with the place. You got quite the green thumb.
Thank you. We take your compliments and spread it inside. It nourishes us.
He's not facing towards us, right?
No.
Okay, I'll walk. Is he anywhere he's facing towards? Is there a table over there?
No, so he's facing towards where like the hearth fireplace would be, so basically a wall.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So you'd really need to like come between him and it to get a very good look at them.
Right. And is there any?
You
There's
can
no
see that
mantle.
he wears. So you can see that they wear a. Looks like a tunic that has been cut away a little bit, revealing their arms, and you can see from here on the back of their arms, and a little bit on their back because it's kind of cut there too. It is very pale, and you see the markings that they were talking about that do look like tattooed vines, all but weaving as though they were climbing their back. Um, I would say especially to Elora, like a perfect rendition as to what you'd expect them to look like, as if they were really climbing a body.
Garrus is really intrigued by these markings and is looking a lot closer. Are they markings or are they actual vines growing out of this guy's skin?
Okay. Yeah, from this distance, you can see that they don't have dimension outside of the skin or
Okay.
anything like that.
So
Like
they
a
look almost
tattoo.
like tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the appearance of tattoos.
Okay. Where did you get your the markings on your back from, sir? We heard tales of you going east to the mountains and finding something.
Oh, do you like how they look?
Uh, they're very beautiful. They look almost real.
Almost. Almost, he says.
God damn.
I have leaves growing out of my head.
Yes. Yes, you do.
What is this guy wearing?
The torn tunic, right?
Yeah.
And then the not bed pants. I'm guessing like a regular.
Yeah, you can see it has what amount to like torn pants, like shorts, basically.
As Nala is beginning to speak, Garrus is slowly inching his way closer to this guy, and I'm gonna walk up so that I can get within like touching distance of him from behind.
Okay.
I'm trying to move very quietly, and I'm trying to move into position so that I can reach out and touch this guy.
Sure thing. As you get close, you become aware vines are on the walls of the house, all twitch. And the leaves, in the same way that leaves turn during a rainstorm, they kind of
Mm-hmm.
move towards you as you do this. And this person, they shift their body a little bit as if knowing you're there. And maybe it's the way the skin stretches, but it's almost as though the tattoos do the same.
Can I see their bare neck?
Mm-hmm.
Can I try and see if I can see a visible pulse?
Okay. So just from watching.
Just from like I'm looking, I'm right behind the guy, and I am within touching distance, and I'm staring dead at his jugular, trying to see if I can notice that there's a pulse there.
Absolutely. I'm going to say do perception check. Yeah, do perception check.
All right.
And a fear here would just mean that like you don't feel like you have enough information.
Yeah.
Basically. Like
Yeah, 22.
22. Okay. So I set the DC here. You don't feel like you have enough information.
Okay.
Like you're looking and you're like, you can't, you're like, wait, did it or did I blink? Like it's just sort of that.
Yeah, no, it's the lighting is not very good in here. Yeah, but I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna try and touch this guy's shoulder.
Okay.
I'm just gonna lay a hand on his shoulder and say, "Hey, why don't you turn around and properly introduce yourself?"
So it is as soon as the tips of your fingers and the outreaches of your skin come into contact with their shoulder that their hand is on top of yours. Pretty naturally quick.
Yep.
And you're feely, aren't you?
Very. Is his
And
skin
it is
cold or?
cold.
Yeah.
It is cold here.
Okay. Yes, I am very feely. Sorry.
Incidentally, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. A 16.
16. The impression you get here, as though you touched a burning hot furnace or a hot pan over the fire. There's a consequence here. Instead of heat being injected, it seems something is immediately taken from you as you gain a level of exhaustion.
Oh.
But very much, again, as though it just, without will, you don't get like a stealing or a taking or any type of malevolence.
As soon as this happens, I'm gonna jump backwards and draw my rapier.
Okay.
Guys, this is not natural at all. This guy's dead.
Garrus, I don't
No.
think you should go up to talk just touching people.
Yeah, I was trying to learn something and I did. He's deathly cold and he sucked some of my life force away.
Now let's gonna ignore that and just say to this guy,
As you begin to say, you could finish your sentence by all means, but they, given what was said to them, they essentially kind of like wrap their feet around the legs of the chair just slightly, not too unnaturally, but enough to then push and make the chair turn without standing up. And the chair scratches against the floor, and you can see this very pale face, the vines there, and the eyes, wholly black. Look back. We did not intend rudeness. But see what you like, Nala.
oh yeah, she was just gonna say, have you ever been to the East Mountains?
Indeed.
What were they like?
Pockets of beauty amidst a cold, unforgiving rock. Good. Good to hide. Good to find.
Why did you go there? I only asked because, well,
I need a persuasion check.
okay.
Sorry.
Oh, crap. My computer. Give me a second. See if I can reload it. Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah. We'll use that advantage at least. Yep. Oh, that's good. 28.
Okay. One of us wished to find food to hunt.
One of you. How many of you went? How many am I talking to?
We are one.
Before you went to the mountains, were you many?
We have been we, and we add as needs demand us to.
Is that why you're here? To add?
Yeah, give me persuasion.
$11.
Very good. Okay, so sorry, this is my own wanting to say things and go, I gotta perform. Hey, look. We don't need any more right now.
Laura. I noticed you were looking at those like tattoos. Is there anything you want to ask?
Did you say that to Garrus?
I say that to Laura.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, say again.
I noticed that you seemed to notice those tattoos earlier, and I didn't know if there was anything you wanted to ask this person, or if you know about stuff that maybe we don't, or
Let me see. Would that be a nature? Would that be Arcana to determine the uh, the like the source?
So, the source of what? What specifically would you be trying to determine?
Like, would this like be more or less like a parasitic plants, or would it be like a sort of magic that made them?
Yeah, I would say a nature or arcana. It'd be up to you. You just tell me which one because you're going to get it from a different point of view.
Okay, then I'll do nature.
Okay.
I give them my inspo from the other session that I never used for doing the
What?
recap last week.
The what?
Do you have an inspiration?
I forgot.
So
What, what's
you get
that?
advantage, basically.
Okay. Okay, good, because I rolled a 3 on that, so I need a better roll than that.
come on, you can
Sweet,
do it.
dirty 20.
with dirty 20. Yeah, I think examining between the vines and everything here, all around, it's you can see between this with the stems a brownness that shouldn't quite be there, a darkness that's not right, giving you essentially this seems to be undeath in plant form.
Hmm. I'm not too sure. Essentially, right now I'd be whispering to Nala. I'm not too sure I should ask. It seems, for at least for undead, if I say anything wrong, we might have a confrontation. But the way it looks, I'd say the best way to describe it would be um, a corpse in a sense with like a parasitic plants that's essentially keeping them alive, like a corpse in plants.
I also wonder with the vines out and everything if they're like controlling all the plants over here. Is that normal?
It seems like the plants were moving
Oh,
when I
Hmm,
moved closer.
Another nature check.
Mm. It was pretty clear that they were moving. Like I noticed it.
Yeah, I would say with Laura, what questions do you have? Because I think you would have noticed a lot of things. I'm willing to kind of like answer directly to Laura.
Hmm. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm midway through eating. I kind of forgot most of the questions.
We will help you.
Hmm.
Feel free to, if you, so this is one of those things, if you want to ask everybody to help you, you can ask that. But generally, people in the group are going to be like, I don't want to take away anything from you, so that we won't necessarily offer. But if you
But
ask, people are more than willing to answer.
I just didn't want to like ask them questions that already that they already answered.
I think we've learned a whole lot from them, so you're pretty free to ask.
The only thing I learned and really care about is that they just fucking hurt Garrus.
Yeah, I mean,
Accidentally.
my life away. He said accidentally. Nobody rolled it. Nobody. checked
Well,
to
to
see
be
if he was being
fair,
honest.
if you didn't do it, it wouldn't have happened. So cause and effect kind
Yeah.
of ordeal.
Yeah, I would say Laura probably picked up on it that like someone touching poison ivy is the feeling you've sort of like got from this. You're like, yeah, like that was from watching this, or touching the wrong part of a Venus flytrap. Just
Hmm.
naturally what might happen.
Okay, let me think about the questions real quick.
Yeah. And if it was already covered, it's okay because now you'll know. So it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We just want to bring you in.
Well, not to be rude or anything, but what exactly happened to you? It looks like the plants have binded to you, maybe willingly, maybe parasitically, but it feels less natural from nature than what I know and recognize.
Okay. So the way that I wanted to do this is these are questions Laura has. I'm going to let your like observation kind of answer them. If you wanted to get their view, you can. It just involves some persuasion, possibly, where it does run the risk of alienating them. But my point in asking you to do this is so that you can get this information by your knowledge of nature. So looking at this, yeah, there is this true sense of a plant life form, even though you've already kind of determined it's undeath in nature, though still behaves plant like, of both a parasitic, like taking control, but then an intense assimilation. of the being, taking in what they are and incorporating it without
Ooh.
impeding an original function.
Interesting. Well, then I will reword that question.
I think you mean terrifying.
Hey, science has its pros and cons, okay? Let's see. Did we answer, just real quick for the group, did we answer where he came from?
I think it was from the village, right? And
And
you
he's
just
from the
went
town,
to
it
the
seems. Right.
yeah, from the town, went to the East Mountains, and something happened. And when he came back, he was like this. I think that's right.
Right. That's what-
Did we figure out why he went to the mountains?
No,
No, I think Pete Garris asked them, and they just.
Nala had asked.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Is there something unnatural about that mountain?
Okay, so now you're just asking them. Something unnatural about the mountain. I don't think they know how to necessarily answer that question. I think what they'll say is, we have lived there. Who we were before lived there long. Before we left.
I see.
Laura,
Hmm?
I have a question that maybe you can observe. Does it look like this being is well, I don't know anything about plants, but do plants get pregnant?
What? Say what?
I was just wondering if they have if they're here to lay grass.
So, oh boy.
Don't ask them. Just can you?
wait, hold up. So, okay, this will be. I forgot completely. Is Nala in child form right now?
Well, I mean, maybe you've noticed. Has Alora noticed? Have the plants grown any further, like while we've been in the building?
Right.
Is this a fern, or how many ovaries does it have?
Right. I think
Budding
here
flowers.
this would be a wisdom nature, Laura, if you're trying to kind of go, is this like a propagating plant? If that's basically what you're trying to determine.
Okay.
Should
Sure.
help you out here.
Let's see. So, would you say it was wisdom or nature?
Wisdom ability with the nature skill proficiency.
in other words, are you proficient with nature?
Yes.
Okay, so then roll your wisdom and then add your proficiency bonus.
Okay. That's a +6, so at least it's decent. Okay, unless I get a crap roll. That's a 10.
Okay. Yeah, with a 10, I would say you know enough to know things, especially like vines and ivy. They are ever expanding, and one of the things that is particular about them is a simple cutting or a piece of them can fall and become a new life form entirely.
Okay.
But you're not able to determine if that is what it's trying to do here. Like the idea of it's ready to burst forth or anything like that. You can't see quite enough on that, but you know the nature of what you're
Mhm.
watching.
So, Alora will turn to Nala. Well, you see, uh, we'll have this conversation when you're a bit older. We'll learn about the natures of the bees, the birds and the bees. And then she'll turn to Azrael and say, well, from what I know, truly, it's particularly different from nature's course. With the vines and the plants specifically, like there are some species where it will expand depending on the circumstances. Even if you let it be or you attack it, it can still shift and grow. I can't really tell with this specific being. It could be due because it's, or at least resembles human, but I'm not entirely sure I can pinpoint whether or not that's what it's trying to do.
I I I don't think we're talking to a human being anymore. I think we're talking to a plant being.
And they're very friendly.
Uh, don't touch it.
Well, I wasn't going to without, consent.
Well,
Can we talk outside?
Yeah, let's step outside, please.
Thank you for letting us come into your home.
Mm.
Have a good
Outside
day.
We step outside, and I turn to Azariah and I say, "You need to firebomb that place right now."
Hold on, Garrus. Let me say your thoughts nicely to the group before we do anything too drastic. That person isn't a person anymore. That was that was something else entirely, and I am afraid that it won't stop at just making this home that it's been given a greenhouse, and this whole town might become the same.
I'm very concerned. Anything that sucks your life away when you touch it can't be good.
so I actually have a theory about that. So, if we're saying creature is more plant than human, my guess is to what happened is it might have been a defense mechanism than anything. I know some plants have the ability to defend themselves, like a flower curling up to defend itself against predators and such.
Do I need to know any natural plants that turn people into plant zombies?
Yeah.
Sunflowers.
No.
Um, this I don't think this is natural, nor Alora. This isn't something that nature intended. This
Oh
is
no, no, no! By far, I can tell from whatever that thing is. But what I was referring to is how it's acting more like a plant, and I'd say its biology is more like a plant.
I
If we
think
were to,
it definitely likes to fill things with plants. I think it definitely is a plant.
I don't think it's done anything evil, so I don't know why we're talking about killing it without knowing what it wants.
Well, I don't think it would be killing it because it's already dead.
It's
Well, that's
unnatural.
true.
It's not something that
Uh,
you want to just keep around. It's if it got into your house and started just festering in the corner until everything in your cat was filled with plants, would you want to keep it around?
Oh no, no. I mean, if it was invading my home, that's one thing, but it's in its own home.
For now,
For now.
but
we don't know what it's gonna do.
I don't know that I want to know what it's going to do. It seems unnatural and wrong. It seems like it's defiling this poor man's body and reanimating it and turning it into some sort of puppet. It seems like a zombie. It seems like it should be put down.
Okay, I got a question.
What if this
about that.
man his soul is trapped in this body while this plant just wears its skin?
That's possible. That is a possibility. It's also possible, though, that he was already dead and the plant came across his body and animated it.
That's
don't
still
really have-
defiling a corpse. That's still you don't
Well,
do that stuff.
I don't think plants follow the same laws as humanoids for some reason. I think they have like their own codes and stuff. But I don't know. I don't talk to a lot of plants.
Mm.
But I do think we need at least a little bit more evidence before we, decide.
How long did the guy say that he's been here for? Like how long had he been back for?
A week he's been around, yeah.
A week?
He'd come back, yeah.
He's been there for a week and he's filled every cup vase in the whole hearth with plants. You don't think you think he's just going to stay in his box.
He
don't
said he
know.
doesn't need to spread right now. That doesn't mean he won't need to spread later.
Well, we could just ask him.
Why don't you go ahead and we'll be behind. And if I don't like the answer, I already vote for taking this creature out.
I think we need to destroy this thing, and then we need to go east and find out whatever created it.
I do think we need to go east to find out what created this. Yes. I'm just not completely sold on this being necessarily evil until we see it do something evil. And if we see it do something evil, or if we have evidence that it's done something evil,
Nala,
then we can fight it because it's evil.
you don't think reanimating a corpse and talking to us is evil?
Well, not if the corpse is dead.
The corpse are always going to be dead. The corpses.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if the corpse was already dead? Like, no, if it killed the person,
So if the
that's-
plant killed the person first,
yeah.
so you're willing to bet that a plant that can reanimate people wouldn't be able to kill people too?
Well,
It almost killed me when I touched it.
well, it was self-defending itself against you,
I barely touched it.
but you did touch it,
Yeah.
and you didn't ask if you could touch it.
Why don't you go ask if you can touch it and then shake hands with it?
Well, because they said they didn't mean to do anything mean when they turned around. I think they felt like we were going to attack them, but maybe they were being honest and sincere, and they were like, "Hey, that's just my defenses kicking in."
Yeah, I still think we should burn it.
Well, I guess we can vote, but I'm just saying I feel bad because what if it turns out this plant's a good guy?
Well, considering our streak of murdering innocents, I don't think we're in a place to judge morality.
Oh, Nala's always going to judge our morality.
I'm not judging our morality. I'm just speaking my voice.
Yeah. Well, but Alora, didn't you say that this was basically like an undead plant?
Sort of. Like I said, it's hard to explain, but long story short, yes, in a sense.
So, I don't know of any undeath that's good.
I would have to agree. Tree ants are awakened trees, and there's plenty of different things that are nature baits that may or may not be malevolent, but this undeath is not natural.
I feel like there's got to be some way we can test it, to really know for sure.
What would you like to test? Do you want it to bite you or something?
Well, I mean, if it attacked me, that would definitely be evidence that it's evil.
Some people don't attack because they're necessarily evil or good or bad. Some people attack because they need to survive. And of course, if this thing thinks we're a threat, it will attack.
Okay. Well, how about this for now? Because we have other leads we still need to carry up on, including the whole swamp thing going on. And who knows what we find out there.
Yeah, I'm more afraid now of what we'll find when we're out there for a week or two and come back here.
Well, what do you think, Alora?
I don't know. It's hard to say for me. I'm in a neutral space. On one side, I do agree that at least with the parasitic plants, you want to get rid of them as soon as possible because they're bound to cause trouble. While on the other side is, well, to say that it has a consciousness is putting it lightly, but I do agree that if at least it can interpret and at least have concepts of and knowledge of humans and is choosing not to harm them, then there's no real reason to attack it. But ultimately, I'll go along with whatever you guys decide to do.
No, well, there's a reason that carnivorous plants smell sweet. They want to seem like friends to all and enticing to all of their prey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they do.
Well, we could just leave this plant vampire thing here and let it be the town's problem, I suppose, and go and find out what's going on in the bog with the kids. But I have a feeling that this is a ticking time bomb.
I agree. I think the sooner we deal with it, the better.
Well, that's 2 votes for attack.
Wow. Maybe I had a gut reaction. I say we either blow it up or get the hell out of Dodge.
We're going to be
Sounds-
back in Dodge real soon, but it's okay. How about
I think
How
I'm
about-
the only person voting against, so I think that means majority is attack.
I think that we don't have to do it right now, but before we leave here, we should extremely consider doing so. It's especially if we come back in here and the plants have doubled or tripled, or it's unnatural. It shouldn't exist.
Well, we can try to stay here a week. Oh, sorry, Laura. What did you say?
No, what I was going to say, or at least suggest, is do we have any pesticides we could test the
I got some torches. I got some torches. We could just light some torches and roll it under the door.
Well, the idea is if it is a plant, if we use pesticides to at least like do a little perimeter, then it wouldn't be able to pass and infect anything else.
Well, I mean, we could put down a bunch of salt and salt the earth.
I don't think that works.
Yeah, you pour salt on a plant, it'll kill it. Why don't are we in agreement that we got to do something about these bird kids?
Yes.
So why don't we investigate the bog first, and when we come back, if the plants have grown, we'll we'll deal with it then.
Okay. I'm really hopeful, though, that it shows us that it's just a friendly plant.
It's not.
I'm part tree, Gareth. You said it yourself.
Yeah, I was hopeful. I believe me, I was excited. I was hopeful, and then it tried to suck my life force away, and that was just its handshake.
Is that the only reason you want to kill it?
You didn't touch it.
Well, I mean, you.
Look at the bags under my eyes, man.
From my perspective, all you did was touch its shoulder, then you drew your weapon on it.
You didn't. You would notice that Garrus has like big bags under his eyes and is physically exhausted now. You would have seen it leech his life away.
All right, Garrus. Well, sorry that.
I feel like if I would have touched it a half dozen times, it would have killed me.
Well, I think so too. That's why I'm glad you didn't.
Oh, I think if we do want to get rid of it swiftly, that maybe we could get permission to set the place on fire if need be.
Maybe we should talk to the town or the guard again and just to get their perspective, and then maybe they have some insight that we don't.
I think that would be better. tell them what we found, and they can make the decision as someone who seems to be important in the community.
I like that. And then we can investigate these children.
I'm right behind you.
Okay. So where are we headed?
To find the guards person again and tell them what we found, and then maybe head to the apothecary to talk to the person who what the children wanted to help.
Absolutely. Okay. So so this is as easy as you just want to make sure you inform the guard there, or
Yeah, and then maybe get permission to burn the house if we need to because we think that this could spread, or tell them that hey, you have an undead plant man in your back alleys.
And Nala just has some questions about, the plant and what it's been doing in town.
okay, so you want more of a conversation, in other words. Perfect. Yeah, talking you kind of you're trying to give your information here. Then he kind of offhandedly says, it does give that place has started to freak everyone out, actually. People, if you notice, some of the guards have started to stand a ways away from it. They swear if you're too close, they can hear you.
Oh, that's not good.
No. I
Just had
mean,
a whole full-on conversation outside that cabin.
well, it's okay. I mean, I think at least it didn't try to attack us right away. We did make a decision later.
Have you noticed anything about the plants in town since it's come back? Has any plants attacked anybody or done anything weird?
No, I can't say. I mean, the only things have been some of the guards. When people bring food, they feel like the shrubs and the bushes, they say, are looking at them.
Oh, I don't know.
I guess if we could somehow determine if this person is alive.
They're not alive.
They're not
They're
alive?
not. They're not alive. They were.
The
cold.
person is not alive. The plant is well and grand right now.
The plant
Okay.
is thriving in undeath.
So we don't know when the plant took over the body.
No, not exactly, but out east, obviously. They found something and came back better.
Yes, we've come back better.
So this is bad because we don't see. That's what I was worried about because I feel like there's one scenario where the plant might not be that evil, and I'm trying to see if there's any way to rule out that possibility.
What? In what? I'm trying. In what way?
Well,
Is
okay.
an undead plant
If-
good?
if
Have you ever met a
person-
friendly vampire or zombie
if
that wouldn't want to eat your soul or drink your blood or do something that wasn't, I don't know, detrimental to life itself?
If the person was already dead when the plant inserted themselves, then that means they didn't kill the person. Or maybe they killed them as self-defense because they were touching them without consent.
There's a reason that people don't like necromancers because they like to go to people's towns and dig up the dead and say, well, you weren't using it.
Yeah, I don't know how to rule out the possibility. I was just saying if there was a way to rule out the possibility, then I am completely on board. But I'll go with the majority either way. I just hate killing fellow plant people.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, so it doesn't bother you when you kill humans or anything else.
Not as much. No.
Can someone please, Garrus? Do you see what you've done? I'm blaming this on you. I'm pointing my finger at him, down at him. Did we want to talk to the apothecary? Maybe they have some pesticide.
We're gonna need something if we're gonna fight.
Well, I mean, ultimately, it's just to prevent it from spreading. If we're gonna kill it, we could just burn down the house.
Well, yeah, we need that too.
I have a feeling that that plant is going to be is just waiting for a flame.
Yeah, what if that pest that poison stuff it was used against Garrus just gets out into the air if we burn it?
Well, we're gonna have to find out. Unfortunately, I can't build a bubble around it.
What about your costume, Alora? Does it have any special abilities? Maybe you could pretend to be a giant bee.
I don't think that would help.
But you could pollinate, right? Like you could pollinate poison.
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah. It's
Well,
fine.
let's head over to this apothecary and we can kill two birds with one stone, talk about the kids, go in there to help them and what type of things they were looking for, and then see if we can come out with a few
Yeah,
things.
technically one bird, one plant.
Yes.
All right. Headed to the apothecary. Very cool. Let's do this. We'll do about 5 to 7 minute break, short one. I basically just need to run and let the Keurig make a coffee.
For sure.
Oh no.
Frankly, and so, so around that time, sound good?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, cool. Alrighty. Appreciate it. Let me get back here. Alrighty. Trying to see if JD is staring into his house. Incidentally. Yeah. But yeah, I posted that was that Crooked Moon, that one, because it's one of the first like really full for 2024 expansions that I'd seen
Mm-hmm.
as far as extra content.
Woo.
I just thought the Frankenstein as a barbarian thing looked cool.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
With food in his hand.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all about the munchies.
All right. Right. Good, Jalen?
All good.
Perfect.
Oh, guys, if we like cooked the pesticide, then I have advantage on convincing someone to eat it.
Making me a bowl of lava. Make it say a soup.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so all right. Really upon the other side, so this would be right now you're on the eastern side of the village. You're traversing over to more the western. Where the ground kind of goes down in elevation. You can see in itself is moist, watery. There's fungi that grow all around, and there you see the Bog Light Distillery, this stilted structure over this like fen, basically. There is a wood bridge supported by large planks driven into the swampy or the watery ground that are reinforced, that seem to go from the high ground down to this place where the you can see thick smoke rises, and the nice smell of earthen crafts come out.
Do we get the sense there's like crocodile-like things living out there? Because I'm just getting a weird vibe here.
I mean, you don't see any crocodiles from this point.
Well, it looks like that's the distillery. Might as well check it out, and I'll start tromping through the swampy nastiness.
All right. Again, there's a bridge that kind of helps you out there.
Oh, good.
But, so able to.
Is it like a store with like the door that says open, or like
It doesn't say open or anything, but there is a door as you make it over. So this bridge makes its way over to essentially a porch that surrounds it as it's lifted from the ground, and you can give a little bit of a knock, and quick enough. you see this older woman, this real thick, fibrous purple garments on that opens it up. She has a slight hunch, and steadies herself with the left hand by the door here. Kind of looks out of you, and you swear there could be things that grow in her garment. Um, as she says, "Well, welcome, visitors. Keza Mint Cap. It's good to meet you."
Well, it's nice to meet you too. I'm Nala. We were hoping to...
Well, young lady, I think I have a peppermint around here somewhere. Would you like one?
Oh, actually, yeah.
She was good, young one. How nice of you all to be watching over this young lady.
Yeah, she's not usually like this. This is looks maybe a little deceiving when it comes to us.
Oh, she's usually a little more rude. Well, good. At least you know how to be polite around strangers.
She's
I'm
ugly,
Jarrus,
right?
by the way.
Yes.
You can call me as.
I'm Alora.
All right. Well, come on in. Let me see how I can help you. I'm sure here for something important. Otherwise, why would anyone make their way over here?
We're looking for two things, actually. The first of which is information.
We'd be glad to help. For a modest donation, of course.
Well, the second might be a little bit harder, but might be more up your alley. I don't know. We're looking for a weed killer. Something that can kill off plant life, that can exterminate overgrowth.
Oh.
Even overgrowth that might cause undead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I see. So a little more complicated. Undead plants.
Yeah. So it seems.
Right. Well, that's kind of funny. I mean, a lot of plants seem to be that way anyway. They boggle the mind. But no, I got what you're saying. It sounds like true evil has infected something. You need to get around it. All right. I better come up with something.
In her store here, is it like as far as what she has out, is it like distillery stuff or is it more like eyeballs and jars and stuff?
It's much more distillery, a lot of like herbs and mushrooms. In fact, as you're spending some time here, getting in, you can see this small fungus person, very much like Sprout, kind of run along a shelf with a bottle and measure to them like what looks like a heaping full of some powder and put it into a bubbling cauldron, little flask, and then it kind of runs and goes into a hole in the wall.
And he's out in the daytime?
Or you're inside.
Oh, okay.
I have a friend like that.
Oh, yeah. They make good neighbors as long as, well, like anybody, come to an understanding that's mutually beneficial. Keep their word.
Are there a lot of mushroom people here?
Oh, there's a little colony. Go down. I helped them out once. I found a patch that they'd almost died, and I transplanted them here and decided to stay and help me work.
How long ago was this?
Oh, this was years ago.
Oh, okay. I was
That's
worried they might be the
fascinating.
ones that we fought. Oh, okay.
Now, I mentioned we were looking for information as well. Do you know anything about there's been some young'uns from town that went off into the bog, and they came back, and there's something wrong with them. They can't talk to anybody now. They can't communicate.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been helping those poor children, or trying to help them. Haven't really been help at all. I think.
You seem like you venture into the bog for ingredients and things like that.
Well, I used to. That's part of the thing. They were there because I had asked them. Well, not asked, but they had found out I needed some ingredients, and they were going to get them for me. Uh, and anyway, then they came back like that. I feel irresponsible, so I'm doing my best to try to figure it out.
What ingredients?
Oh, a particular type of it's a fungal ring that grows along the base of trees from the ground to about 5 feet up, and also some leaves from the pink bush. And she starts going off a list of different ingredients.
Now, did you send them just into the bog to find these things, or did you have a specific place you sent them to?
Well, I told them what to look for. You see, you need for the rings, fungal rings, for instance, you need to find where it rises. The trees rise just enough where they're likely not to be directly touched by the water in the rainy season. That's the ones they tend to go to. Of course, pink bush tends to be where the sun doesn't get much action.
I asked
Strange, it's a
because
flowering tree that doesn't. That's actually is repulsible to sunlight. Go ahead, say.
I asked because we'd like to offer some assistance and try and help these young'uns, but we'd like to know what we're getting into. Do you have any idea what may have caused this strange plight? What may be ailing them?
She kind of thinks, and well, I do believe there is mystic in nature. It's not something purely of the body. Are you level-headed people?
Reasonably.
Some of us.
Right.
We've seen our fair share of fantastical things as well.
Sure. I say this because there's I've had my run-ins with a type of fey folk who live there. This
A grandpa?
seems grandpa?
No? Okay. Just checking.
As she sorry, different types. I don't like to listen. Everyone does their thing for their own reason, and sometimes people get all up in arms and want to think that they need to exterminate folks. So I don't like talking about that, but this seems to be up their alley, one could say.
Did they have
but-
any of these ingredients on them, by the way, when you found them, or when whoever found them? Did they already have any of them?
Oh, just kind of thinks back. Their bags were empty.
Okay. So perhaps it was the first stop.
Maybe they didn't even quite make it there. We're trying to figure out where we need to go to solve this problem, where we need to go and investigate.
Gotcha. And she'll take out and a very rough idea of the swamp. She goes, well, And she starts circling a few areas. She goes, "That'd be where I'd start if you were trying to find what I asked them to look for." Uh,
And the kids would know this too?
oh yeah, I told them what areas
Okay.
to sort of look. Again, you gotta within that you have to find where the land does the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's about where it's the most direct route, and she kind of starts to write out because essentially there's no road to the bog. It's
Yeah.
over the grasslands and everything, and so she said most people kind of go this way, and does take some time to try to narrow it down for you the best she can, based on movements and what they tend to be. She goes, "That's what I would say."
And you're probably familiar with any predators out there, like natural wildlife.
Oh, well, yeah. As I told them, you always want to be moving so the wind's blowing at you. And if it starts to no longer blow east, like it starts to go more north, south, or the worst case west. If it ever goes west, you get out as quick as you can.
Well, why?
Well, the trolls.
Oh, they're trolls.
All types of trolls in there. Whole society. It can be treated with, done on occasions. Harrying work. Which, incidentally, if you don't know how much troll folk you know, but if you are in a position to bargain one, um, you know, uh, you either meet their demand or you're in for a fight.
What are trolls like?
Well, each one's different, but they like
Generally, mayhem and carnage.
yeah. And these ones in particular, well, goes, big thing to remember about trolls, they're kind of like plants in of themselves, All it takes is a finger or an arm to grow a new one.
Ugh.
And sometimes that's all it takes to try to start smacking you.
Oh. Okay. I just didn't know if there was something we could load up on in case we came across a troll. We could trade something they really, really enjoy.
Not a recently killed animal or something like that.
Okay, that helps.
Usually same day fresh.
Okay.
They like the scent of the blood. You don't want to bleed them. That also might attract them, so it's up to you. But like I said, it's really the direction of the wind. When that changes on you, you know that it might be going towards a colony. Most of them are west, but all the north and south that will know people are there. Those who do make their homes there, they have a special diet that makes them smell like swamp.
Do you have? Is there like boats out here that we could use in the bog?
Yeah, she goes. The village. Obviously, the village has some that are light boats that you can use to. You just have to make sure you're carrying them all the time. Whether when there's not,
Gotcha.
because it's like kind of like water, then not water, so it's not all the waterways connect, right? So they're light enough where you have to carry. So they're essentially kayaks each person could carry. If you want to get a little bit of a visual.
Okay. Wow.
They each weigh 100 pounds.
This bog area sounds terrifying.
You sure you want to go in there and help these kids? We could just continue on to the south.
No, we're going to have to do it. I just don't want to.
As soon as she thinks, goes, now that I think about it, wouldn't it be... I heard tale of some trolls who learned to do some kind of crazy magic. Could be them. I was thinking the Fey folk. Out of the way, Fey folk, you could at least eliminate them. This takes about for a second. From your investigation.
So you think the trolls might have done this to the kids?
I don't know. Like I said, just what I've been hearing.
It's not really a way to know what the wind was blowing like that day, so.
That's true. I do have if you are going to help. She moves around. She does have these 5 bottles. She goes negotiated long ago for the stuff to make these. This'll, well, basically make you into a pixie for an hour.
Ooh. That's neat.
That could be helpful if we need to negotiate with any Fae.
Yeah, that's what would usually use it. Might give you a little bit up and put you down. Their senses will come back that you're one of them, though. Again, they're not idiots. They can sense it if you act like fools.
Right.
But any of their magics that are meant to alert to others coming, it'll fool them. She goes, if you're going in there anyway, and she'll mark this in the map for you. She goes deep there. There is a tree that grows where it is said a god's blood was spilled. Around there are these white flowers. You get them to me, maybe I can make you something that'll take care of any type of evil plant like you're talking about.
Well, that could be useful. I think we should definitely keep our eye out.
Well, anything else I can help you all with?
Oh, yeah, actually. Just kind of curious about other things you sell here. Do you sell like ointments for making bruises and cuts go away?
I think all types of things that help the healing process with the body and all that. If that's
You
what
think
you're
it
asking.
works like super quickly.
Are you looking for potions?
I'm trying to do it in character.
I know. Well, I do have something, I suppose. It'll run you about 300 gold. Or if you have some 1,000 euro ginseng.
Can we see what you have?
What? Oh, sure. And she moves out, and she has this wrapped glass bottle. She's sealed up, and it looks like it has an ointment in it. So got that right there. That'll take care of you up right quick.
Does it look like a healing potion type of thing, or
It's not a healing potion. It is, I'll say, it's Kyogtom's ointment.
Oh, that's even better than a healing potion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Is that
How many
300?
applications are in the jar?
5.
Ooh, for 300 gold? You said?
Mhm.
Okay. I'll take that.
Very good. Yeah, I just said it because I'm like, oh, they think I'm trying to trick them. No, I'm trying to help them out.
Nope. No, that's good stuff.
All right. Yep. So she will gladly turn. She only does have one.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that she has. So there you go.
Well, we'll share it. All right.
Absolutely. So the big thing with this is specifically it will take an action. It will not be subject to quaffing rules.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But doesn't it heal like 2d8?
yeah. And it is also easy to apply to another person.
Yep.
And it can be put onto the skin as opposed to swallowed. So it's just a little easier to do some stuff. And it takes away the poison condition. It's a little bit of
Nice.
this.
So it's 5 applications.
Yep.
All right. Got it.
Oh, that's really cool. Thank you.
I will strap that to my belt. Right next to the thunderstorm in a bottle.
And she will goes, well, I didn't know. Just kind of see that you have coin. So almost like though she's not used to people with coin. She says, well, good if you want. It's kind of good at I have something. I could only like lend it out, but I need like a security deposit.
What is it?
Well, she takes out this wooden box. She goes, well, this is my folding boat. She goes,
And how much for this security deposit exactly?
goes, well, again, I'm assuming you bring it back to me. You promise?
Yeah,
All right.
we'll bring it back.
Well, then 1,500 gold to keep it, just in case. Well, let's say I have to hire people to go get it for me.
Gotcha.
Not to, you understand, right? It's important to me. My mom made it for me.
1,500 gold. That's a hefty sum. I think we can scrounge that up though.
I'll put half on it.
All right. I'll go ahead and let's see. What's half?
750.
750. Yeah, I'll put 750 on it as well. That way we can get it. And the security deposit is, and that's only returnable if it's not in bad condition, right?
Basic, yeah, like yeah. This is
This is above table. This is one of my favorite items in the game.
nice.
Yeah, I absolutely. This is such a cool item. So it's a little tiny box, and she hands us this little box, and Garrus would recognize what this is. He's seen these before in the city and stuff. And does this have a command word?
So you can actually see they are carved on to it. The one is peanut butt. The second actually appears to be, it's an Elvish word for a group of friends.
Oh, cool.
And then the last one is dinner time.
Nice.
Which respectively correspond to rowboat, cure boat, and to put it away.
Yep. Very cool.
Well, I think that you're the one that could probably use it the best. One, I'm not sure if you are. You seem very excited, so why don't you keep it on? Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely come in handy, I think.
Well, good. Take care of it. And, she's conflicted. She's like, these kids kind of are in trouble because of me and these people trying to help them, and it's my boat.
She said her mother gave it to her.
Yeah,
Yeah, her mother made it.
made it
Oh.
for her.
Okay, yeah, well, we will definitely be returning it to you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
All right, then.
Before you go, is there any other specialty potions that you have? I've actually been reading a book and become somewhat of an apprentice alchemist myself.
And she starts to go on. There's nothing of too much of use at
Okay.
this point. Just things like for an upset stomach and a lot of remedies and those types
Right,
of
right.
things.
Thank you for the candy.
You'll see. Here's the cinnamon for the road. And she goes and she's like, I can tell you've got a lot of power with you, young one.
Yeah, I'm known as the surprise.
She thinks that meant something entirely different to your parents. She goes, "Ooh, how nice." All right. Then anything else? Or what next?
Do you guys want to go out west right away and tell the guy that we're going to be off and that he should watch that house really, really closely?
Well,
So we'll come back and, hopefully that woman can make the whatever pesticide that's going to, work in our favor, and hopefully it doesn't grow too large.
How long will it take to get the pesticide again?
I mean, we have to get the ingredients for it so she can. finish it.
Oh, okay. So we're going to the bog with that anyway. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all one place and not. Yeah,
All right. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense then.
this is an exploration campaign, but I try to make as much sense as possible.
No, I
Well,
like that.
do we want to go back to the Weave House and stay the night there?
We can. Yeah, I guess we have actually been traveling a while before we got here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed because I mean, we want to. It's getting later in the day. We, obviously want to start or as early as we can near
Yeah.
sunrise because
I don't want to be out in the bog at night.
No, and Garrus looks up at you with huge bags under his eyes. I could use some rest. I'm pretty
Yeah.
exhausted from that thing.
Well, I won't argue with you. I want you all in tip-top shape in the morning.
All right. So, incidentally, just to get when y'all do make your ways here, let me get there it is. Okay, I was like, wasn't sharing correctly for me. Here, Guntar. So you are taking quite the journey as far as overland. If you do have your boat, you can see the tributaries here. The way the flow is going to happen is the flow of this comes from this mountain here and flows this direction.
Okay.
So if you would get here, you'd be having to row like upstream and such
Mhm.
things or whatever, depending on what you want to do. Now that we have to decide that right now, just as a because I know people look during the week, and I wanted to answer those questions. Which way do the flows to give you the sense of a lot of that.
Where is our current town?
Guntar.
Guntar, up
Oh,
there.
there it is. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's not bad. You're pretty good.
We were heading towards Fort Farentis, so
Right.
we're going off in the other direction now.
Take a little detour here. Head toward Blackhaven. But Kalu,
Well, maybe
What?
not. Hopefully, not all the way.
you never know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So give that, and then I'd say any moments before you would end.
I can't think of anything right now.
No, I would just ask if we had another dream about the mountains.
Yeah. I think the dreams this time are more vivid, stronger, still not like in a mystical pull, but now now during them you see ivy everywhere.
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering if there was any kind of after effect of me touching this thing. Yeah.
So I'll end with this. Garrus, as you wake up, your exhaustion has not gone away.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh,
Thank God for reliable talent.
Indeed. With that, we'll end
Need our
for
cleric.
tonight.
Yeah. All right.
And incidentally, I plan on starting us kind of probably within the swamps, getting some action stuff like right away. Since we
Cool,
have a nice,
cool.
Slow one. Always like to follow it up with a promise of some other stuff.
Right.
So
good.
there we go.